Nintendo have some goodies for us today, and they have some sales figures for the Wii U, Amiibo and 3DS, as well as some expectations as to what they are expecting for the newly released Switch. Now, let's start with the earnings report, shall we? And overall, the sales are declining, and the Wii U and Amiibo sales drop are among the reasons for that overall decline in the earnings report. Now, this earnings is for the 6-month period ending September 30th, so just ending last month, and again does show an overall decline in sales over the same period last year by an estimated 33%, translates to about $1.3 billion compared to $1.9 billion in the last year. Operating income is also at a decline at a similar 33% rate, and the loss trend extended to ordinary income, where the company lost about $295 million compared to $157 million in the first half of the previous year. However, Nintendo did see an increase in profits from about 11,466 million yen over the same quarter last year to 38,299 million yen, which is $366 million. And again, this was largely attributed to the sale of the Seattle Mariners baseball team, which you may or may know that they've had for years. However, you know, all that stuff is great and all, but you want to know hardware sales, right? Well, Nintendo sold 2.71 million over that 6-month period, a 19% increase year on year. Part of this was thanks to Pokemon Go, which, as I've discussed before, did see a result in increased sales of Pokemon games on 3DS, and of course the 3DS itself, particularly outside of Japan. That is something I have discussed before. As for the Wii U, again, this was a decline of 53% year on year. Now, according to Nintendo, this decline in Wii U sales is because the console had no hit titles this year, unlike the previous year where we actually saw some pretty decent games coming out for the machine, that being Splatoon and Super Mario Maker, and overall the software sales of the Wii U did also drop again 33% compared to last year. And finally onto the Amiibo, which of course did decline, which Nintendo believes is due to fewer titles supporting it. Amiibo sales were down to 3.8 million units from the figures and 1.7 million for the cards. Now, before I move on to the Switch, they did talk briefly about the upcoming release of Pokemon Sun and Moon, and of course these are definitely expected, alongside the 3DS version of Super Mario Maker, to have a positive effect on 3DS sales. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's hardly shocking. Yeah, the new Pokemon game, which looks awesome, is going to sell more 3DSs. Okay. Right, so as I said, they also discussed the Switch. And the current president, Tatsumi Kimishima, did say that the company is intending to ship 2 million units of the upcoming console before the fiscal year is over at end of March 2017. Now, do keep in mind, however, that this number does represent the units Nintendo believes it can sell to retailers, not consumers. Now, of course, this doesn't really mean much because we don't know when the Switch is coming out. Shipping 2 million units would be great if, say, for example, the console launched, just to pull a number out of the air, March 20th. So then it really only has a couple of weeks, and if it sells a couple of million in a couple of weeks, that's a great start, right? But if it launches, say, March the 1st, then while it's still good, it's probably not as, obviously, as healthy as, selling that many within a much more restricted time period. Now, Kimishima also confirmed that the Switch will not be sold at a loss, and that apparently Nintendo is listening to what consumers expect in terms of pricing. He didn't actually say any ballpark price range or anything, but he said he's listening to consumers. They're listening, so that probably means that the requested price range of about $350 to $300 possibly is probably what it's going to be. I mean, $300 with games would be a steal. $350 with games would still be pretty good, but I'd say $300 is probably the safer bet, obviously, with the Pro and all that, and obviously the Scorpio coming out at the end of that year. So, there you have it. Those are Nintendo's speculations for the Switch, as well as, of course, their sales. again, without knowing the exact release date, that particular target selling through to retailers is not really all that helpful by itself. Hopefully we'll find the release date soon. It's probably not going to be this year that we find out. I'm expecting a direct in like early January or something like that, because then obviously they've got a few months to build up the hype train. But I could be wrong, of course. We could know it tomorrow. We just don't know. They, of course, announced the Switch reveal trailer thing quite late in the game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they spring another thing on us without warning. Anyway, as I said, that has been done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.